Hello and welcome to a new episode of Airport CEO here on BongoPlanes, where we will work on a completely new area here at the airport. It will actually be another terminal, but not just any terminal. It will be a government terminal. As always, before we get started with today's video, if you should end up enjoying this video, then don't forget to smash the like button. That really helps us out. And of course, if you're new around here, you're always welcome to subscribe. Alright, so we will actually be working in the area that is just north of our runway system. Just as in real life, Berlin-Tegel has a government terminal where diplomatic missions and stuff like that can be started, or the German Republic can receive visitors, and so on and so on. It's a fairly small building. Obviously, it doesn't need to be handling huge numbers of passengers, and our terminal that we will be building won't either. But there is a really nice mod which actually gives us the possibility of taking the aircraft types that we have in the game and apply a skin to it that actually matches the Air Force skin of Germany. So that's really nice. It won't be military aircraft as such. It will be, for example, an Airbus A321, I believe, there is in the game with this skin. But of the German Air Force. So that's really awesome. So the first thing, of course, we need to do is actually connect the area up with a third tunnel. We have, of course, already two tunnels connecting terminals 1 and 2 with the main road into the airport area. And we need a third one, which will be going all the way over to our third terminal. So yeah, in real life, the layout is actually fairly simple. There is a small building which handles all the passengers arriving and departing. Right in front of that, there are some remote stands. So in that case, passengers take or enter or leave the aircraft on stairs and then just walk over to the building, I believe. And there's even a parking position or remote stand for wide-body aircraft. And there's actually even more stuff for other military equipment and so on. We will do something fairly similar to that. We will have two remote, no, actually not remote, we have two medium stands right at the building, and we will actually make it a little bit more luxurious than the current terminal that they have in Berlin, because we will actually be connecting these medium stands up with the terminal building with jet bridges, so passengers don't have to go outside. Then we will have some more remote stands, just as in real life. For the moment here, there will probably be medium stands, but obviously this is still recorded in alpha, I believe it was alpha 32, so that's before the wide body update. But don't worry, of course we will change that, and we will actually add a wide body stand over there. And actually, which is kind of funny, is I actually already recorded that, so where I will end up replacing that in a future episode will actually be pretty much as we see it on the satellite image, where we have the wide-body aircraft a little bit to the left side of the whole building there. So that's quite nice. But of course, the whole thing is quite condensed because we don't really have much space here to work with, but we can just about fit in the terminal building, or the structures for the terminal building, and the stands that we need or want to have over here. And of course, also a road coming over here, and yeah, a few things that we need, some bus stops and stuff like that. We will also have to at some point actually make another tunnel just for people, because obviously the game won't understand that this is a very specific building with a very specific function. It will just take it as a terminal building. And obviously the passengers coming here will be random passengers. They will just enter aircraft that, thanks to a really awesome mod, will enter aircraft that look like they belong to the German Air Force. But they will be just normal passengers as they are in all the other terminal buildings here in the airport. So we need to make this area accessible, and as we have learned painfully, passengers will arrive at random places in the game, so we need to make a footpath over there as well, other than just the street tunnel. But that's all to come in future episodes. I will also be working on this in the next episode. I can already tell you that, because it will take a little bit of time to actually construct all of this. But this will probably be the part of the airport that will be operational the first, that we will be having fully finished up, because it is a relatively small terminal. So the infrastructure we need here, we can build really fairly quick over the course of just a few episodes. So yeah, as I mentioned, we're working on it in today's video. We will be working on this in the next episode, and how many episodes are we then in? 5, I think. And yeah, and then the 6th episode, that's where we then will have the big update to Alpha 33. So that is where we introduce the wide body update into this game. And then we need to do a few small tweaking stuff here. But after that, we could probably just start operating this part of the airport. So we will start having some aircraft coming in, which I'm really trying to do, so we get a little bit more action to the airport, so it's not just construction. Although, of course, I mean, I'm having fun with this. I hope you guys enjoy it as well, of course. We're trying out new stuff, some designs of how to build airports. I mean, that's the point of the series, basically. But obviously, it is nice when there's a little bit more life around the airport when stuff happens. So yeah, in the next couple of episodes, we will start having some of that. That is at least the plan. But speaking of Alpha 33, I actually the other day was reading the developer blog where they already have announced what they want to introduce in Alpha 34, which is an R&D system, so research and development. Some R&D tree will probably be implemented. It was a quite lengthy article where they were describing what was ahead for the game and what they were planning. I highly doubt that this will be released before the new year. I can't really see that happening over Christmas. That will certainly be a bit well, I mean, at least then I would have some new stuff to try out. No, but honestly speaking, I don't think this is coming out in over Christmas. They didn't mention any specific dates, but obviously I think sometime in the beginning of next year is a realistic time to expect that. But back to our gameplay here at hand, where we of course are trying to just have the general shape and layout for this part of the airport. You can see we placed down some small stands, so we've also used this area here for general aviation. I thought that would be quite fitting here, as in real life. This area seems to be a little bit more open. I mean, obviously it's, I think, mainly military, so it wouldn't be open for general aviation, but you know, you would have some small aircraft going around this area. So in this world, we will just convert that to general aviation. We will again change this a little bit because we will need to make space for a wide body stand there, but that will of course come in a future episode, as already mentioned. But how will the design of the terminal actually be? What will be the layout for that? Well, it will be fairly simple, although all pretty compressed, because as I mentioned, we don't have much space. So obviously people will just walk into the building here on ground floor. We will establish the check-in area there. We will have quite large restrooms, and of course we will behind that have the baggage handling area for this terminal, so a baggage bay and all that we need for that. We will also, in one of the wings, as you can see, actually have some boarding desks. This is the area where we will be handling the boarding of the remote stands. It will be hopelessly overcrowded, most likely, but we will try to keep flights from this area to a minimum. Just because it is a government building, there wouldn't be constant traffic all the time, but just every now and then. So I think we can live with a little bit of overcrowding in this area. Basically then after check-in, we would have people going through security. I'm not quite sure yet if I put that on ground floor level or already on first floor level, but anyway, people will then go up onto level 1, from where they then can board on either side of the terminal building aircraft that are parked at the stands that are here connected with jet bridges to the terminal, or will be connected with jet bridges to the terminal. And then on the right side we will have on this wing part here, we will actually end up having the baggage retrieval area. So fairly simple. Also upstairs we will have space for a food room. I thought that would be appropriate to have some form, obviously. I don't think in the government terminal of Berlin-Tegel that they have a shop, but they will most likely have some form of lounge or something where they can have some catering going on, accommodate some events and stuff like that. Again, we don't have these things in the game, so we just have to make do with what we have. So I'll probably just end up putting a food room in there and make here some form of lounge area there. We could even at a later stage maybe add even a second floor. If we wanted to, we could try to do something up there, maybe a little bit more lounge area like than what we have in the food room, but yeah, we will see. All that can be done in the future. Of course, if you have any ideas of what we could put in here, if you have any design suggestions, then you're always more than welcome to leave that in the comments section below. I do try to read all comments on this video, on the series, and of course all other videos here on the channel. So anything that you want to suggest, it's always most welcome. Alright, so yeah, now I can see what I was doing. It's been a while since I actually did this recording, so I didn't remember anymore where I actually placed my security checks for this terminal. But as you can see now, they were placed here on level 1. So yeah, it was actually quite nice or interesting to build this terminal because it is so compressed, everything. I mean, I have made really small terminal buildings before, simple terminal buildings when you start off your game and stuff like that. But I think the biggest difference with this was really that I needed to fit in all the things that we needed for an operational terminal, and there is simply no space to extend the building. I mean, when you start off making a small terminal building and you put in the stuff you need so that you can operate the terminal, that's fine, but you always have the option of then expanding the terminal building if you figure out I might need a little bit more space here or there. And it didn't really have that option here, so trying to figure out how to fit everything in a way that would still work, where even though there might be some times where things are a little bit overcrowded, it wouldn't be terrible, and not all the time. That was quite fun. So yeah, if you want to challenge yourself, just give you no space and try to make something work there. I did have quite a lot of fun with that. But yeah, fairly simple, a terminal with the departure areas and arrival areas squeezed in between two gates, and then even some access for remote stands. What could possibly go wrong? Well, we will see in the next episode of Airport CEO, where we will be continuing this build and almost finishing it up, so that it fairly soon can be operational. If you have enjoyed this video, then don't forget to smash the like button. That really helps us out. If you're new around here, why not hit subscribe? That would be absolutely awesome. With that, I'd like to say thank you so much for having watched today's episode, and hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.